people often ask me how I go out and find insights for innovation. Needless to say, I do it differently from everybody else, not always, but I know we have lots of data within our organisation and lots of research. Those are what I call got clues, but also I like to go and look at those not clues, things that we don't necessarily have within the organisation. How do I do it? Well, I'm going to go out and I'm going to gather clues, hunches and springboards, and I'll explain what they are in just a moment. But what's a clue? A clue is something I've seen, something I've heard, or something I've read that could stand up in a court of law. Here's what it's not: what I thought I heard her say, what I thought I saw. It has to be factual. And so I'll go out and I'm going to interview 3 different types of people. I'm going to interview a weird, I'm going to interview a deep, and I'm going to interview a normal. Well, what on earth are those? A weird is somebody who has a gentle relationship to our industry but doesn't work for us. A deep is somebody who works deep within our industry, and a normal is a consumer. I'm going to go out and actually spend time with them. So we were looking at a project to create more relevance to Hispanic families, and so our weird, believe it or not, was a car dealer up in New Jersey, and because his challenge was in fact the same as ours. We were selling vacations, he was selling cars, but he wasn't converting, but he knew everything he needed to know about his consumer. So we went to go and spend a day with him, and we took a car over to, I think it was the Ramirez family, and one of the things I remember writing down was a particular clue that I had observed was the more family members that clambered into the car, the louder the laughs. That was the clue I found from spending a day with the family. There were lots more clues, but that was one I particularly remember. Then we went to go and spend a day with a deep, a travel agent for us. This was a travel agent who was selling family packages to Hispanic families moving from Los Angeles to Guadalajara and back again. And the clue that I remember for spending the day with her, she said, once the Ramirez family realized there was something there for abuelito, abuelita, tío, comadre, compadre, once they realized there was something there for everybody, she was able to close the booking because they realized there will be something for everybody to enjoy. Then we went to spend a day with the consumer and actually living in their family. And in speaking to this particular gentleman, he was organizing a cruise for his family, and what he remarked was the most important part of the cruise was that all 20 of us could get together for dinner that night. Now, those are the different clues. So now as we start to look for a hunch, what we're looking for is, what are those common threads? What are those common themes that each of these clues are telling us? The more family members there are that clambered into the car, the louder the laughs. Once the family realised there was something for everyone, I could close the booking, and the most important thing for us was a family together for dinner, a family of 20 for dinner. So how does that convert into a hunch? Well, it's an Uber clue, basically. It's just a combination of those clues together. So that's all it is. So if you think about what we just heard, and I always start my hunch with a there's something about. There's something about the shared emotional value that Latino families simply get out of being together in larger numbers. And we heard that through all of those 3 clues. So what the hell's a springboard? A springboard is the consumer insight and the business opportunity. So here's the consumer insight. There's something about the shared emotional value that the Latino families get out of simply being together in larger numbers. Well, what's the business opportunity? How might we? How might we design a series of signature experiences, products and services that allow the families to together en masse? So it's really a combination of your clues that you're beginning for the beginning, something I've seen, something I've heard, something I've witnessed, something I've read. Then what are the common themes within those clues to build a hunch? There's something about. And then what's the business opportunity, which is the combination of the consumer insight with the business opportunity. And that's just a different way of spending time outside of our data to gather insights for innovation.